This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The annual Human Rights Watch International Film Festival is underway here in New York City. But one of its featured directors will not be in attendance at his film's U.S. premiere on Saturday night. That's because Israel recently deemed Palestinian filmmaker Amr Shamali a security threat, preventing him from traveling to Jerusalem to obtain a U.S. visa. Then he went to Amman, Jordan, where the U.S. did approve his visa, but said their visa machine was broken, so couldn't issue it. Amr Shamali had previously attended half a dozen European film festivals without incident. His film has drawn international acclaim. Interestingly, the film shows how Israel has historically tried to undermine any form of Palestinian nonviolent resistance by branding such resistance as dangerous and threatening. The film is called The Wanted 18. It recreates an astonishing true story from the first Palestinian Intifada, when the Israeli army pursued 18 cows, that's right, cows, whose independent milk production on a Palestinian collective farm was declared a threat to the national security of the State of Israel. This is the film's trailer.
Early 1988, a Bet Sahur cow truck drove to an Israeli kibbutz. An Israeli peacenik there agreed to sell my town the cows. There was Rivka, Ruth, Lola, and then there was Goldie.
We are Palestinians. We deserve to have a home. We deserve to have our land. We deserve to have our freedom. And we deserve to have cows.
For me, as a teenager at that time, it was about the fun and about, proving that we can stop Israeli cars and vans and products coming into our city.
The military governor came one day with his soldiers. He said, and I quote the exact words, "These cows are dangerous for the security of the State of Israel." I can't understand how can 18 cows be dangerous for the security of the State of Israel.
We were kings. We were mastering our own destiny, actually. We had a full life. Complete, I would say.
That is an excerpt of The Wanted 18, which will premiere Saturday night at Lincoln Center, the Walter Reed Theater, at 6:30. The guest who we are now being joined with from Ramallah was supposed to be there to speak about his film after it premieres, Amr Shamali, the director of The Wanted 18. He's a Palestinian filmmaker, visual artist. Here in New York, we're joined by Julia Basha, a longtime documentary filmmaker who's worked in Israel and Palestine for the last decade. She's creative director of Just Vision and impact producer of The Wanted 18. We welcome you both to Democracy Now! Amr Shamali, why aren't you here in New York? Can you explain what happened?
Hi, thanks for having me today. Basically, I applied for an American visa at the American consulate in Jerusalem. In order to get to Jerusalem, you need to cross a main checkpoint blocking the road between Ramallah, where I live, and Jerusalem, where the American consulate is. And to get that permit, you need to apply for the Israeli army. My permit was rejected for security reasons, and it's not a special case. Like, there's tens of thousands of Palestinians, young Palestinians, who are labeled as a security threat to the State of Israel. And it's quite frustrating. Jerusalem is just 25 minutes away from here. From this studio, it's like 10 minutes, but you still can't reach there. The American embassy in Jerusalem does not offer any facilities for Palestinians who can't get there. And they even ask you, even if you thought of sneaking to Jerusalem illegally without the permit to attend your interview, they will ask you, where is the Israeli permit? As if there's kind of coordination Anyway,
but you went to many different film
appointment,
festivals,
and we
isn't
tried
that?
to go to Amman. I believe that in Amman, I toured the whole world. Not New York yet, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon.
Continue with
And
what you're saying.
I crossed the main borders to Jordan many times, so I'm not really a security threat.
So you went to, sorry, we have a 4-second delay here between New York and Ramallah, making the conversation more difficult than it would have been if, Amr, you were right here with us. But so you didn't go to Jerusalem, you went to Amman. Explain what happened there at the U.S. Embassy.
I believe that the U.S. Embassy in Amman have good intentions, but something went wrong with the system, so I didn't get the visa yet. So I'm waiting for their call to go back to Amman to stamp my visa. Obviously, I'm going to miss the first screening, but I still have other screenings in New York and LA. Hopefully, I'm going to catch those.
I want to go to another clip, Amr, of the film The Wanted 18.
We have decided in Beit Sahur that we need to boycott the Israeli products.
Most of our milk comes from Nova, which is an Israeli company. We wanted to produce a project that will produce the milk that's needed by our children and population.
A group of people in Beit Sahur thought, why wouldn't we have cows to make milk available from local source instead of buying milk from Israel?
This is Beit Sahur, or as it used to be during the Intifada in 1987. This is my town, and those are my people. 10,000 people who gave Israel a headache.
And let's go to another clip from the film. Again, this is about the first Intifada in Beit Sahur, the film The Wanted 18.
The military governor came one day with his soldiers to the farm. First thing they did there is to take a photo for each cow with its number on its body. And he told us in brief that we have to remove the cows and get rid of them. When I asked him why, he said, and I quote the exact words, "These cows are dangerous for the security of the state of Israel." I told him, I can't understand how can 18 cows be dangerous for the security of the state of Israel. That's very strange.
From The Wanted 18, again, these are 18 cows. Amr Shamali, you directed this film with Paul Cowan, who also wrote it. You lived in Beit Sahur. You lived in a refugee camp in Syria, but learned of this story in Beit Sahur. Why did you feel it was important to tell this story today?
I feel that young Palestinians and young Arab in general nowadays are faced with two options. One of them is to accept to be the absolute victim for the occupation, the Israeli occupation, for capitalism, or to go lunatic and join ISIS, for example. I tried in this film to show an example happened in the first Intifada, late 80s, where a young generation could manage to take action and decide what they want to do with their lives. So it's kind of highlighting a moment where we, as Palestinians, knew what we wanted to do, and we had our third option to choose our a better future. And I think this is an important film, especially for young Palestinians to see and respect themselves again.
You said that the U.S. Embassy had good intentions, but they had technical difficulties giving you your visa to come here for the premiere. What were the technical difficulties?
I have no idea. Something with the system collapse. I don't know. I have no idea. But they were smiling when they said that, so I believe they have good intention.
Do you have any thought that you might be able to make it in the next few days, although you won't be here for the premiere?
No, I won't be in the premiere, but I will be in the next screening, maybe, hopefully, on the 19th.
Julia Basha, you're the impact producer of this film. The significance of, especially for a radio audience who can't see the claymation, the illustrations of the cows, it is painful to talk about this as a hilarious film, but there are parts where you're holding your sides.
Yeah, we believe that the film has the possibility of opening the conversation for people who might be feeling fatigued and hopeless about this issue, and the humor opens that way. We really want communities, particularly here in the United States, to start thinking about what are the stories that we are hearing from the region and what are the stories about resistance that arrive to us. I think historically we have been told that Palestinians have only used violence to achieve their aims, when in fact there's a very long history of civil disobedience and nonviolent resistance, which this film is one example of. And for Ammar to be able to tell this story with some humor, we hope we'll be able to attract more people to join.
Ammar, since you can't be here to address the audience directly at Lincoln Center at Walter Reed Theater on Saturday night, what message do you have for those who watch or are weighing whether to watch The Wanted 18?
I think in The Wanted 18 you will see a different face of Palestinians and a different face of Israelis, a new take, a new point of view, which is the cow's point of view. And it's crazy, but till today, all of those insane things happening in Palestine under the label of security threat. For example, nowadays as Palestinians, we're not allowed to have 3G network on our mobiles. The Israelis have 4G. We are not allowed to have 3G. We don't have internet on our mobiles because they said having a frequency for the Palestinians is security threat. So everything can be a security threat, like digging a well to water natural reserve in the Palestinian cities is security threat. Everything can be labeled as a security threat, and which is a valid excuse. And we became as Palestinians like traumatized people living under paranoid army controlled by a paranoid
army. Ammar Shamali, we have to say thank you so much.